Mary lived in a small village called Ogunta, where the rivers flowed like a shining snake beside the white houses. All the houses in Ogunta were white, standing like soft clouds under the blue sky. Mary's own house was close to the river. She could see the water sparkle from her windows every morning. Her mother always said the river was special, full of secrets and blessings. Mary was a smart and kind girl. She helped her mother at home and always did well at school. Her teachers liked her because she was respectful, and her classmates liked her because she was honest and gentle. But sometimes Mary felt something strange deep inside her, like there was a voice calling her from far away, like the sound of water whispering her name. One afternoon, after school, Mary came home and saw her mother looking at an old wooden bus. Inside the bus was a bright hand bead, round and shining like it came from the sky. I found this bead many years ago, her mother said softly. You were just a baby. I saw it floating in the river. It looked so beautiful. I picked it up and placed it on your little hand. Mary stared at the bead. As soon as she touched it, her heart jumped. A cold feeling ran through her arms. She quickly pulled her hands back. Her mother laughed. Don't be scared. It has brought us good luck since then. But that night, Mary had a strange dream. She saw a palace deep under the river. A man dressed in flowing blue cloth sat on a throne made of seashell. He looked at her and smiled. Then he said, Mary, you are mine. The next morning, Mary woke up shaking. Her dreams felt so real. She could still see the man with the blue cloth and the palace under the river. His voice still echoes in her head. Mary, you are mine. She looked at her hand. The bead was not there, but her arms felt cold. She rubbed it and got ready for school. Before we continue with the story, guys, a quick question. What will you do if you find yourself having such dream, knowing fully well that it is not just an ordinary dream? Let me know in the comment section. Watch till the end to find out what Mary did to save herself from such situation. Like and share this video to family and friends. Also, kindly click on the subscribe button if you have not done that before. Also, put on your notification bell so you always get notified anytime an interesting African folktales like this come up on this channel. So guys, let's continue. At school, Mary couldn't concentrate. Her friend Chika asked her what was wrong, but Mary just shook her head. I had a bad dream, she whispered, but it felt real. Chika laughed. Maybe you just watched too many fairy tales, she said, but Mary didn't laugh. Later that day, Mary passed by the river on her way home. She stopped and looked at it. The water looked peaceful, but she felt it pulling her. Not with hands, but with a voice. She quickly walked away. That night, the dream came again. This time, the man stood up from his throne. He walked towards her, smiling. You belong to me, Mary. You were chosen when the bead touched your skin. Mary wanted to run, but her feet wouldn't move. She woke up screaming. Her mother rushed into her room. What is it, Mary? She asked, holding her close. Mary cried. The man in the river. He says I belong to him. Her mother's face changed. She looked worried. It's just a dream, she said, trying to smile. But Mary saw fear in her mother's eyes. That was when Mary knew something was wrong, very wrong. Mary started to hear things when she walked near the river. She heard whispers. Sometimes they said her name. Sometimes they said, come home. She began to avoid the river, even though it was everywhere in Ogunta. One day, during break at school, Mary was drinking water from her bottle when she heard the whisper again. Come home, Mary. She dropped the bottle and held her head. Leave me alone, she shouted. Her classmates looked at her in surprise. Are you okay? Chika asked. Mary nodded quickly, but inside her, she was scared. At night, Mary heard the sound of water in her room, even though there was no water around. She told her mother again, Mama, something is wrong. I think the bead is doing something to me. Her mother sat down. and held her hand. "Mary, I didn't tell you the full story," she began. "When I found the bead in the river, I felt strange. I gave it to you because I thought it would protect you. But now I think it was not just a bead, it was a gift from the water spirit." Mary looked at her mother, shocked. "Water spirit?" "Yes," her mother said. "Some people call them marine spirits. They live under the water. I think they gave you a husband when I placed that bead on you." Mary's heart stopped. "A husband? But I was a baby." Her mother nodded slowly. "That's how they work. They chose who they want, and now they want you to come home." Mary began to cry. "But this is my home." Her mother hugged her tightly. "We must find help before it's too late." The next morning, Mary's mother took her to visit an old woman named Mama Nwaka, who lived at the edge of town in a tall white house surrounded by palm trees. People said she could speak to spirits and understand deep secrets. When they entered, Mama Nwaka looked at Mary and gasped. "You came late," she said in a soft voice. "The river has already marked her. She carries the scent of the deep." Mary felt cold. "Can you help me?" she asked. Mama Nwaka nodded slowly. "But first, I must know everything." Mary told her about the dreams, the whispers, and the man in blue. Her mother explained how she had found the bead and placed it on Mary's hand many years ago. "The moment you did that," Mama Nwaka said, "you accepted a gift from the marine kingdom. That was not just a bead, it was a wedding bond. Mary became a bride in the spirit world the day you gave her that bead." Mary was shocked. "But I didn't say yes. I didn't agree to anything." Mama Nwaka looked sad. "Spirits don't always wait for your answer, but there is a way to fight back if you are ready." "I am," Mary said quickly. "I want my life back." Mama Nwaka took a small bowl of white chalk and drew a sign on Mary's forehead. "Tonight, you will come back. We will begin the cleansing, but be warned, the spirit will not let you go easily." Mary swallowed hard. She didn't feel ready, but she also knew she couldn't go on like this. She had to fight, even if the river pulled her again. That night, Mary sat in the middle of Mama Nwaka's prayer room, a small round hut with white walls and candles all around. Mama Nwaka placed herb and chalk around her, drawing a big circle. "Don't step outside the circle," she warned, "no matter what happened." Mary nodded, her heart beating fast. Her mother sat outside the room, praying with tears in her eyes. As Mama Nwaka began to chant, the wind suddenly blew hard. Though there was no open window, the candles flickered. The room grew cold. Mary heard the sound of waves crashing. Inside the room, her body shook. Then the voice came. "Mary, Mary, why do you fight me?" The man in blue appeared again, this time not in a dream. He stood at the edge of the chalk circle. His eyes were deep like the ocean. "You are mine. You were given to me. Do not let this old woman confuse you." Mary covered her ears. "Go away. I don't want you." The spirit looked angry. "You will regret this," he hissed. Then he raised his hand and the candles blew out at once. Mama Nwaka quickly threw white powder into the air. A bright light filled the room, and the spirit screamed before disappearing into the dark. Mary fell to the ground, breathing hard. Mama Nwaka knelt beside her. "That was the first fight. There will be more, but you did well." Mary looked at her. "Will it ever end?" Mama Nwaka wiped her forehead. "Only if you are strong. The river doesn't let go of its bride easily." Mary didn't go to school the next day. Her body felt weak and her head was hot. Mama Nwaka said the spirit had drained her energy during the fight. She needed to rest. While lying in bed, Mary stared at the white ceiling of her house, her heart full of fear. She didn't want to be part of any spirit kingdom. She just wanted to be a normal girl again. That afternoon, she sat on the front step. watching the river in the distance. It looked calm, as if nothing had happened, but Mary knew better. That river was alive and angry. Suddenly, the sky darkened. The wind began to blow wildly. The trees shook, and the white houses all around started to rattle. Mary stood up in fear. Then the river rose, not like a normal wave, but like a tall wall of water. It didn't come into the town, but it stopped at the edge, bubbling and loud. From inside the wave, a voice came, "Return what is mine, or I will take everything." Mary ran back inside and screamed for her mother. Neighbors came out, confused by the strange wind and the angry water. But as quickly as it came, the river settled again and the sky cleared. Mama Nwaka arrived not long after. She looked at Mary and nodded. "The spirit is warning us. He is ready to fight." Mary wiped her eyes. "I am ready too," she whispered. A boy named Ebuka, who was also in Mary's school, had been watching her for a week. He noticed how quiet she had become and how she avoided the river path. One afternoon, he saw Mary walking home alone. She didn't see him, but he followed her from a distance. Suddenly, Mary stopped. She stood still like a statue in front of a river, her eyes wide open. She slowly walked towards the edge, as if something was calling her. Ebuka panicked. He ran and grabbed her arms. "Mary, what are you doing?" Mary blinked and shook her head. I don't know. I didn't even see the river. "You were walking into it," Ebuka said, his voice shaking, "like you were in a dream." Mary looked scared. "It's happening again. It's pulling me." Ebuka walked her home. She told him everything about the beads, the dreams, and the spirit husband. He didn't laugh or make fun of her. Instead, he hid her hand. "You are not alone," he said. "I will help you fight." Mary felt comfort in his words. She had never told anyone outside her family. Now someone believed her, and that gave her new strength. That night, she told Mama Nwaka about Ebuka. The old woman smiled. "Love is light. It can break many chains, but he must be careful too. The spirit will not like another man close to his bride." Mama Nwaka decided it was time for a deeper cleansing. "We must go to the river itself," she said. "That's where the bond began. That's where it must be broken." Mary was scared but agreed. With her mother, Ebuka, and Mama Nwaka, they went to the river bank at sunrise. The white houses behind them looked peaceful, but the air near the river was heavy. Mama Nwaka drew sign in the sand. She gave Mary a small white egg and told her to hold it tight. Then she began to chant. Suddenly, the river bubbled. A loud splash sounded, and the spirit appeared again, this time taller, darker, and angrier than before. "You dare bring him here?" the spirit roared, pointing at Ebuka. "He is not your husband. I am." Ebuka stepped forward. "Leave her alone. She is not yours." The spirit raised his hand, and a wave rose from the river, aiming at Ebuka. Mary screamed, "No!" and threw the egg into the water. The wave stopped mid-air. The spirit cried out in pain. The egg had broken the hold, but only for a moment. He sank back into the river with a loud splash. Mama Nwaka helped Mary up. "That was strong," she said, "but it was only round two. The real battle is coming." After the attack at the river, Mary began to feel strange things in her house. Her room, painted white like the others, started glowing faintly at night. She saw wet footprints on the floor. Sometimes she found her bed soaked, though there was no water anywhere nearby. One night, she saw a mirror on her wall shimmer. The reflection showed her not in her school uniform, but in a flowing blue dress, sitting beside the marine husband. Mary screamed, and the mirror cracked. The next morning, Mama Nwaka visited again. "Your house is no longer safe," she said. "He is finding ways in." They moved Mary to Mama Nwaka's white house near the forest edge. It was protected with charms and holy signs. Mary felt peace there for the first time in weeks. While staying there, she began to dream less. She even laughed again. Ebuka visited and brought her books and stories from school. But deep inside, Mary knew the spirit was not done. One morning, a golden bus appeared at the front of Mama Waka's house. No one saw who placed it there. Mary opened it and grasped. Inside was a beautiful necklace, shining with sea blue stones, and a note that read, "I still love you. Come home, and this will be yours." Mama Waka frowned. "It's a trap. Don't touch it." Mary stared at the necklace. It was the most beautiful thing she had ever seen. She reached out slowly, but stopped. "I don't want things," she said. "I want my life." They burned the necklace, and the sky darkened for hours. Birds flew away. The river grew loud, but Mary stood firm. The marine spirit had made his offer. Mary had given her answers. Now the final battle was close. In Ogunta, the people celebrated a special event every year called the River Festival. It was a big day when everyone wore white clothes, sang song, and danced by the river to thank it for water and blessing. This year, Mary didn't want to go. She was afraid the marine spirit would use the festival to pull her back. But Mama Nwaka told her, "You must go. This is your land too. Don't let the spirit keep you hiding." On the day of the festival, Mary wore a long white gown and tied her hair with white cloth. Ebuka walked beside her as they joined the crowd. There was music, drumming, and laughter everywhere. The white houses around the town were decorated with flowers. But as the sun rose high, the drumming changed. Mary felt dizzy. Her vision blurred. Then she saw him, the marine spirit, standing across the river, wearing a golden crown. He smiled and raised his hand. All the music stopped. The river bubbled again. People began to scream. Water rushed out, flooding the dance ground. Mary stood frozen. Mama Nwaka ran forward and shouted, "Don't be afraid, Mary. Speak." Mary closed her eyes. "I break the bond with the spirit world. I am not your bride." A loud thunder cracked. The river went calm. The spirit disappeared again. The people clapped, thinking it was all part of the festival. But Mary knew the battle had just started. While helping Mama Wanka clean her storehouse, Mary found a dusty wooden box. Inside was a leather journal filled with folded handwriting. On the first page, it read, "The story of Adeze, bride of the river." Mary sat down and read the whole book. It told the story of a young girl like her who lived many years ago. Her mother had also placed a bead on her hand, and she was taken by the same marine spirit. Adeze tried to escape, but no one believed her. She finally disappeared during a river storm and was never seen again. Mary's hand shook. She didn't want to end like Adeze. She ran to Mama Nwaka and showed her the journal. "This is proof," Mary said. "It has happened before." Mama Nwaka nodded. "Yes, many girls have been taken, but you can be the one who breaks the curse." That night, Mary placed the journal by her bed and whispered, "Adeze, I will fight for both of us." The spirit was angry. That night, Mary's dream turned dark. She saw fire and water crushing together. She saw white houses sinking into the river. She saw herself in chains, crying. When she woke up, her bed was soaked wet. Ebuka came to visit, but he was limping. "I fell from my bike this morning," he said. "It was like something pushed me." Mary's heart sank. The spirit was not only attacking now, he was after the people she loved. Mama Wanka performed a small protection prayer for Ebuka, but warned, "This spirit will do anything to get you back." Mary looked at the river from her window. "Then I will do anything to stay free." One evening, while getting ready for bed, Mary found something strange under her pillow, a shiny silver ring with a blue stone. She hadn't seen it before. She picked it up and felt a strong chill round her hand. A soft voice whispered in her ears, "Wear it and all will be well." Mary threw the ring across the room. It hit the wall and melted like ice. Mama Wanka rushed in. "He is trying to bind you again." "But how did it get here?" Mary asked, shaking. "He can enter dreams, objects, even people," Mama Wanka said. "You must always be alert." That night, Mary slept with a Bible under her pillow. She didn't dream. The room stayed quiet, but she knew the spirit was watching, waiting. Mama Nwaka gathered Mary, her mother, and Ebuka. "The time has come," she said. "There is one final way to break the bond. It will not be easy." She explained that Mary must go to the river one last time, not to run away, but to face the spirit and reject him in his kingdom. "You must return the bond yourself," she said. "Only then will the marrying husband let go." Mary was afraid. "What if I don't come back?" Ebuka held her hand. "You will, because you are stronger than him." Mary nodded. She knew what she had to do. She would go into the river, not to be taken, but to break free. The next morning, just before sunrise, Mary stood at the river bank. She wore a simple white wrapper and carried the old bead in her hand. Mama Nwaka had drawn holy sign on her forehead. Ebuka stood far behind with Mary's mother, praying silently. "You must go alone," Mama Nwaka said, "and you must not be afraid." Mary stepped into the water. At first, it was cold, then warm. Then she could no longer feel the ground. The river pulled her gently, like soft hands guiding her. She didn't struggle. She let it take her. Suddenly, the water opened like a gate. Mary found herself standing in the glowing palace beneath the river. Pearls and gold sparkled everywhere. Music played softly in the background, and there, on a throne of coral and shells, sat the marine spirit dressed in blue, his eyes shining. "You came back," he said calmly, "my bride." Mary stood tall. "I am not your bride. I was never yours. I came to return this." She raised the hand bead. His face changed. The soft look turned hard. "You dare reject me after all I have given you?" Mary's voice was clear. "I never asked for any of it. I just wanted my life back." The spirit stood. The palace shook. The waters turned dark. But Mary threw the bead to the floor. It shattered. A bright light burst from where it broke, covering everything in white. The spirit screamed and vanished. Mary closed her eyes, then everything went silent. Mary opened her eyes and found herself lying on the river bank. The sun was shining. Birds were singing. Ebuka ran to her and pulled her into a hug. "You are back. We thought we lost you." Mama Nwaka smiled deeply. "You did it, my child." Mary sat up slowly. She felt different, lighter, like a heavy chain had been taken off her soul. "It's gone," she whispered. "He is gone." Her mother knelt beside her and kissed her forehead. "You are free now." The river was calm again, like a mirror. No voice called her. No dream waited. For the first time in her life, Mary felt safe. They returned home. As they walked through the village, people clapped and smiled. They didn't know what Mary had done, but they could feel something had changed. Even the white houses seemed brighter. 2 weeks later, Mary returned to school. Her classmates ran to hug her. "We missed you," Chika said. "You look different." Mary smiled. "I feel different." She no longer had voices, no more dreams of footsteps in her room. Even the river, which once called to her every night, now looked like just water. Ebuka sat beside her during lunch. "So, what now?" Mary looked up at the sky. "I live, I study, I laugh. I enjoy my life. That's what I do now." They both laughed. It felt good to be normal. That day, they both walked home past the river and didn't feel fear. Mama Waka visited Mary that evening. She brought a gift, a white dress with golden pattern. "Wear this on your birthday," she said. "You have been born twice now." Mary hugged her. "Thank you for everything." You are strong, Mama Nwaka replied. Never forget that. Mary began to help Mama Nwaka at her shrine during weekends. She wanted to help other girls like her, girls who didn't understand strange dreams or spiritual attack. Word spread across the village. People came to see Mary, not just to hear her story, but to learn from her strength. Years passed. Mary finished school. She started her own foundation to help young girls in Ogunta and nearby town. She called it Daughters of Light. She and Ebuka remained close. They laughed often, shared stories, and sat by the peaceful river. The same river that once tried to claim her. One day, Mary stood alone at the river bank and smiled. You thought you owned me, she whispered to the water, but I belong to no one but myself. The river flowed quietly, offering no answer, and that was all the answer Mary needed. The white house of Ogunta stood still under the sun, peaceful, calm, whole again. Moral lesson: don't accept every gift without knowing its source. Even beautiful things can carry hidden danger. Always seek wisdom before accepting spiritual or physical gifts. Your voice matters even against great powers. Mary found courage to stand up to a spiritual force. Sometimes standing firm is more powerful than running away. Generational decision matters. What one generation does can affect the next, but with truth and courage, generational chains can be broken. Spiritual awareness is power. Ignoring strange signs or dreams can lead to bondage. Knowing how to seek help and fight spiritually is key to freedom. Every girl deserves to choose her own destiny. Mary's fight was about reclaiming the right to decide her own future, a powerful reminder that no one owns your destiny but you. So my returning subscribers, you are always the real G of this channel. Thank you for always coming back. And to you coming across Folktale with Chinelo for the very first time, hi guys, welcome. If you enjoy watching the story to the end, don't forget to like, share, also click on subscribe button, put on notification bell so you always get notified anytime I post a new one here. Thank you for watching Folktale with Chinelo.